The first fight with that barb, I think that was more of like an outplay because I got in between those two bricks and then I turned around. I don't think that barb expected me to turn around and just hit him because he still had his hands out. The second fight was just all gear. So I have 60 PDR in this video with 155 HP. And then that third fight with that lizard was pretty simple. He was a Slayer fighter and I was a high PDR fighter. High PDR fighter in a situation like that will always win. Unless the high PDR fighter makes a lot of mistakes. There's a time and place to play Slayer, that's for sure. I think Slayer Fighter is really fun because they're so fast and they can do serious damage. So I would run a Slayer Fighter kit in like a Ruins or Crypts 1v3 situation. You can still do 1v3 situations in Ruins and Crypts as a high PDR fighter. There's going to be times in 1v2 and 1v3 situations where you just have to run away, and as a high PDR fighter with like 90 movement speed, you just can't run. I don't think I've ever been this yoked in this game before. You just cannot lose any fights with this gear. I will have to admit that it is pretty damn broken, but also I will take into account that my kit is probably worth anywhere between 3,000 to 5,000 gold. It does make sense that I'm literally like unkillable as a, Dark Souls PDR fighter. Still, very, very broken. I mean, even with just regular gear, you can be 50 to 60 PDR. The physical damage reduction is kind of crazy. Maybe they should nerf that a little bit. Or maybe a lot. At least for solo, PDR fighters are literally OP. I don't know how the 3v3 situations are with fighters like this. Yeah, so that guy definitely had better gear than me. I think that was just a misplay on his part. He had better rings, he had better helm, better chest piece, better everything pretty much. So I just decided to take his full gear set. And this was the end of this game because I was like, man, I just got the whole gear set. I'm good. Let's get out. But that was the end of it. And I ended up getting this kit and I ran it like 10 times and I just didn't die. And I just kept on running it. I would say some of it has to do with in-game sense and awareness and skill and stuff like that. Like, that dude definitely made some mistakes. If you watch back, I was able to hit him a couple times first before he can hit me. And I'm not sure why he didn't use second wind. Maybe he had a previous fight and he used it up already. But that's pretty much how I got this kit. I already know I'm going to get a few comments. You're playing the most broken class in the game. Why don't you play a class that's more skillful? Stuff like that. From the very moment I only had one subscriber on this YouTube channel, I have been playing Fighter since nobody has ever complained about Fighter before. So you can go ahead and say all that you want. They're going to get nerfed eventually. And then Warlock's going to start getting more hate because they just got buffed. And then Wizards just are going to get more hate because they got buffed. It doesn't matter, man. It's just, this is what I like to play. I will for sure play more classes in the future. My next class is probably going to be Warlock, but I just don't feel like moving on yet. I feel like my time with the fighter has not ended yet. Perhaps in the future when I'm streaming, I'll start playing a different class while you guys all watch me level up like a Warlock or something like that. I definitely have had enough experience with long sword fighters to know not to hit them directly on the sword. You can see in that fight that I was aiming for the legs a lot. I was just trying to avoid that hit. I think I hit him once and he parried me once, but he was unable to hit me. So I just continued to, try to get body shots. You always want to avoid the head when they're trying to parry you, so you want to try to hit him at the leg. And then eventually he just got sick and tired of it, and as he started hitting me, I knew that that was my opportunity to go in and just start swinging at him.
Fuck you, dude. Alright, fine, kid.
And now the reason I tried this out is because I just kept dying to high PDR fighters. Like, constantly I would just die to them in high roller. And I was just running a normal Slayer fighter build with very decent gear on, but it's all leather gear, and when you're up against a fighter and it's a sword-to-sword combat, the fighter with the higher PDR is going to win. So I decided to put on some PDR gear myself, and I went in a dungeon and I killed the dude who had the gear that I currently have on right now. After reading your guys' comments from last video, I genuinely agree with you guys on this one. A game like this, that's kind of the very low population game, only like, 5 to 10,000 people, it would take away some of the mystery and the surprise behind running dungeons. You never know who you're going to run into, that kind of deal. Because sometimes, if everybody's like a gold player or a platinum player, then you just know what to expect every single time. And this isn't really the type of game to be competitive. This isn't like an esports kind of thing. This is not a good idea. Totally agree with you guys on that. Sometimes I do worry that this game might die, but even if it does die, it's totally fine because another company will take this idea and they'll turn it into an even better game. I hope this game makes it. I love it. If I'm being real, the game doesn't look like it's going to make it, but maybe Iron Mace has a plan that we all don't know about. We'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think about the state of the game in the comments below. I actually get this question a lot. Do you think maybe the fact that you use the lore account could help sell items on the market? I think that happens sometimes. This is the situation where this dude knew who I was, but they decided to buy the ring, and I actually went back and I wanted to ask him, did you buy the ring because I'm the lore, or did you buy the ring because you genuinely wanted the ring? And he ended up buying the ring because he genuinely wanted the ring. And maybe like there's a small 2% that just buy so that their name could appear in the video or something like that. But that's what I think. I could be wrong, but I mean, what else am I supposed to do? If I make a new account, people are just going to be able to pick that account up and they're going to know the name and they're just going to do the same thing. So